All right, welcome to part 3 of this build here. And so on this video series, we're going to try to get the wing attached to the fuselage on both sides and get the ailerons built. I know I've been talking a lot about that. Maybe get the wingtip things done. I've already prepped the bottom of the fuselage, or the bottom of the wing, for coverall. So that's done. I want to cover this thing in one piece, and it'll be multiple pieces, but all together basically. Might be more of a pain, but I think this part here would be a pain. The center fuselage chunk would be a pain to cover separately. So what I've got so far here is I went ahead and prepped all this. I went ahead and did another dry fit of the wing to the pod section and made some adjustments there. Everything's looking really good. I used Gorilla Glue. Gonna use this a lot for this build to go ahead and glue that together. So we got it all glued together. I put the throttle servo up here. So I did the same thing I did to the ailerons. I just put that there, and then I got a hole drill through the joinery here. And I'm just going to let this set up. It's obviously starting to dry. It's been going for about an hour now, so it's 1 to 3 hours, I believe, before you can unclamp it. I'm just going to go to work, and I'll unclamp it tomorrow. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. We will get the other wing panel attached. I'll get my strap out and strap that all together. Make sure everything's nice and neat on that side and get it all glued together. And then we can move on to building the ailerons, getting those hinged, and then move on to finishing work. So it's getting there. It won't be too much longer. I'm hoping to get all the building done and all the final assembly work up to covering done in this episode. So anyway, stick around, and I'll bring it back when we do a little bit more work here. All right, just wanted to do a quick update. I know we're working on the wing over there, but I did decide to go ahead and get the tail surfaces here covered. I didn't film that because you've seen me cover plenty of times. I just kept my on transparent covering. I like to keep the gap seams pretty tight. Minimum 1/4 inch, so they kind of disappear in there. You can't hardly see it. There is one there. So I think that looks pretty dang good. I mean, it is a fun fly plane. It's supposed to stick out. So yeah, I would glue it now, but I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the bottom and everything. So I'm not going to finalize any of this until I get the bottom of that done, which is going to be when I do that, because I'm going to do them both at the same time. Get the wing caught up to where the elevator and rudder is. That's a lot of work. Yep, I got a new toy. I'm not going to do a review on it or nothing because I'm still learning it myself, but I did get a FR Sky X18. So I'm playing around with it now, trying to figure out learn how to do this, make this stuff work. So that's a very advanced radio. I just came up about 20 years in radio thing. It is the TD model, so it's got the 900 and the 2.4. That's about all I'm going to say about it until I know a little bit more about it, and there's plenty of videos out there on that. So anyways, I'll bring it back when I decide what I'm going to do next on this thing. Okay, I'm not going to go into too many details here, but I got the first aileron built. Now you might be thinking this looks pretty small, but you remember we're going to do 4 ailerons, so I got to make 4 of these guys. The way that came out was because of, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this before, not on the pogo stick, but see how, okay, so this is 1/4 inch and these are 1/8, and they crisscross in the middle. I've never seen anything like that before, so I thought that was a pretty good design trait of the pogo stick, and I needed to carry it onto this guy, so that's exactly what I've done. This is 1/4 inch. It's a little thicker, 1/2 inch. I use 1/4 by 1/4 for the standouts, and this is 1/8 inch. Now I might have to strip some more 1/8 inch because I think that's the last piece, and I went through like 1.5 sticks just doing these X's, and I got 4 more to build. So you can do the math, and I only got enough of the 1/4 inch stuff, so I'm gonna have to make some more of that to do one more. But basically all I'm going to do is that, see, this is all dried. I glued it all up. It's ready to go. I'm going to pull my pins. I'm going to leave this sit right here, and I'm going to put another sheet of wax paper over top of it, and I'm just going to duplicate it. I just halved each arrow on, like I said, so that way we don't have to have one monster servo. We can have 4 individual servos. And plus with the new radio, I'll be able to do some really cool mixing. So, you know, speed brakes, flapper-ons, yeah, all that good stuff. So it'll be fun to play around with as long as this thing flies all right. Just remember, this is a untested prototype, so we'll see. But and I did shorten them. They were going to be 7 inches, and I just started looking at it, and I'm like, that is way too long. Those over there are 4.5, so I went happy medium. I went 5 3/4 or so wide. So I think that'll work out a little bit better. And yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna keep building here, and I'll get all 4 of these made, get them sanded, hinged, and everything, and I'll bring it back. All right, you're gonna have to bear with me here a little bit because my phone's about dead, and I gotta keep it over there and charge it. But I am starting to work on the wingtips here. It's a beautiful day outside, and I want to get some dope put on this wing today, and that way maybe next week or so we can get the wing covered. But I need to put some hard points in here. I would like to screw the wingtip. I don't know if you call them what you would call them, but we're going to go bigger than the wingtip for, you know, better. Yeah. Anyway, something to try. And I'm not sure exactly how big I want to make them. I mean, I'm probably going to start out at a couple inches maybe over the wingtip, and we'll get to that here when I design them. But I need to put some hard points in here, and the reason why I'm working all this out is because I might want to change the design later on and make them smaller or bigger, maybe experiment a little bit. So I'm going 3 inches from each leading edge, and then I centered, you can see my marks here, I centered it across there, and then I'm going to put these dowel rods in here. These are 5/16 dowel rods, and I just drilled a hole, and they're a couple inches long, and I'm just going to throw some yeah, if I could talk today, because, you know, talking's hard, some Gorilla Glue in here, and sink these in here. I haven't done the other side yet, but I thought I'd show you this part of the build here. Maybe. I'm not going to add any water or anything. I'm just going to goop this in here like so. It's just going to give me a hard point so I can put some screws in here. So I'll glue them in. If they come out a little bit, we'll sand them flush. We're a couple inches deep, so if we lose a little bit of material here, it don't really matter a whole lot. Okay. Just kind of spreading it around in there, if you can see that. Then I'll make a note of where these are at, because once we cover and paint them, they're going to disappear. And that way, if I want to make another set, try different sizes or whatever, see if it makes any difference, take them off if need be. You know, it's just going to be 2 screws to hold a plywood plate on here. So I'll get some plywood ready, and then I'll mark this out, and I'll show you where we're at with it. Don't need to finish them at this point. Obviously, this glue is going to take quite a few hours to dry. So I'm going to rinse and repeat on the other side, and I'll show you what the wingtip looks like when I get it built here. All right, Okay, so the phone is charged a little bit more, so I can get you a little closer here as to what I did on the wingtips here. Not that that's super important. I did do a little test piece up here. I left some of the Gorilla Glue exposed up here, and then I nitrated over top of it. The reason why I did that, here, get you a closer look, is because I didn't want to put the nitrate. I got exposed foam here in the center, and I didn't want to put the nitrate on it and then have it melt. You know, like this foam does. As soon as it hits it, it's like goober. Yeah. So anyways, I did a test there. I let it dry. I sanded it, and obviously here it's still rock hard. It didn't melt at all. So I went ahead, and now on this one, I just did the leading edge, the wingtips, the trailing edge, the center section. I went around with the nitrate on all of my servo openings. I did the same over there. And the reason why I did that is, and not do the whole wing, is because I don't know what is making this thing better. Is it the nitrate? Is it a combination of all of it? So I left some of these open panels. I didn't do any of it. I sanded between coats. I got 3 coats of nitrate on it at this point. So the next step is to get my 6 Dixit down on my, where I'm going to adhere the coverall at. I'm really going to focus a lot around here because I get the feeling I'm going to be doing multiple pieces in here, just to kind of, because of all the different angles and everything. I want to get this all covered and painted. I'm not so worried about the sides here where I got the plywood at. I think when my plan here is once all the stuff's down, coverall's applied, to come in here and do a butyrate, like a patch with small pieces if I need to. But I think the plywood will just take paint, because it's plywood. It's a lot less porous than the balsa wood is. So I don't think I need the coverall around there, if that makes any sense. It'll make sense once I get it all done. But yeah, I did this bottom already. It's all nitrated. It's got 3 coats on it. So the bottom's got 3 coats. The top's got 3 coats and spots. So we're going to, yep. So sticks it. Let that dry overnight. Tomorrow's Friday. Not sure if I will have time to come out here and do any covering. But next time you see this, it'll probably be, I'll have all the covering on there, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in the center. The other thing I'm going to do is, since this foam here is so brittle and melts so easily with any of these chemicals that I'm using, I'm going to stuff newspaper down. I'm going to fill all these cavities in to try to keep as much of that stuff out as I possibly can. And then we'll start doing the filling process. So yeah, I'm not too worried about this stuff, because this is all going to get covered up with the new wingtips when I get them made. I thought I was going to use plywood on these, but I don't have any plywood, enough plywood wide enough and long enough to do the fences that I want to do. So I'm going to use some balsa wood down there. I'm going to have to put 2 sheets together to get the desired effect around here, and then I'll have to finish those separately. So yeah, on to this. And then the reason why I'm doing all this and not covering the airlines now is because that takes literally an hour to cover all those airlines and sand them, and I got around the edges and all that. So I want to get this done, and then that won't take as long. And while I'm waiting for paint to dry and stuff, yeah, trying to get the bigger projects done, and then we'll focus on the little stuff. This is going to come together really quick. I do believe that maybe by the end of next week I will have paint on this thing, and we will be getting into final assembly. The only thing that I'm concerned about still is this rod and how much flex it has in it. Now, I said I've tested it and everything, but when I put it on the plane and it's loose in there, the thing wobbles around a little more than I want. So I think I'm going to get a little creative with the tube and add some diameter to it. I got another piece of carbon that I can throw over the top as a sleeve. So yeah, that's I'm getting ahead of myself here. So anyways, I'm going to get the sticks it down, and then we'll bring it back when I got a little more here to show you. If you haven't caught the video yet, I don't know when that's going to go out. Probably this weekend of the tel services and stuff. That's going to be the same as this, and I'll add a little bit here and there what I'm experimenting with. So catch that video, and then we'll get this thing hopefully in the air in the next few weeks. Well, it's the next day, and as you can see, I've got the wingtips and the bottom here covered. I still got to do the pod there yet, but I just wanted to hit on something here. If you've been following along on some of these builds where I've been doing coverall, do the nitrate base, because what I'm noticing is like by doing the nitrate and then putting the Stix-It over the top, I don't have to reapply my Stix-It on my seam. I mean, that's just one layer and it's stuck down. The seam is right along there. I'll get rid of those once we start doing the butyrate fill. But yeah, that's coming out super nice. I got it done in one piece, which is more of a personal challenge than anything. You know, to cover a 6-foot long wing in one piece is pretty cool. Plenty of material for the other side to do the same. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, and I'm going to stuff the holes with newspaper in there, just to kind of protect all this foam for when we start spraying this thing, because I am going to spray this thing. This would take flipping forever to do with brush coats and stuff, so I'm going to take it over to the shop and spray it. I can probably get almost all of it done, you know, up to the primer stage in one go if I do that. So I'm going to do the same to the top, and then I'll start working on the little pod engine area up here. It's just going to be a lot of little pieces. I may end up doping some of the coverall on. If you go back and watch the on the Flying King video, I don't remember if I did a single video on it or not, but you don't have to use Stix-It on this. If you get a tear or rip or something, you can dope on small pieces. So that might be what happens up there. I'm going to attempt to do the plywood. I kind of changed my mind on just leaving it exposed. So I'm going to try to do my best up there. I'm hoping for good results, but we'll see. Only last thing we got to do is the wingtips and figure out those hatches for that. I think they're just going to go right over the top. And then I am going to put some covering on this, so that might be where I cover, you know, some white on or whatever. So anyways, I'll bring it back when I got more to show you. But yeah, that's looking fantastic. Yes. Yeah, I couldn't leave you guys hanging on the most satisfying part. Shrinking this thing down. I can't know if you can tell how baggy this is. Yeah. Chasing the wrinkles around. Just heating it up just enough to get the bag out of it. Bagginess out of it. There went a whole bunch. Almost too much. Oops. I thought I heard a pop. Trying to keep my seams nice and tight, and well, that's sometimes what happens. I'll have to stick another piece on there. Not a big deal. It's on the wingtip. This one's pretty bad. Oh, yeah. Oh, that one went too. Pretty good. Not bad. I try to keep the seams tight, so that's what kind of happens when you do that. It pops away. It shrinks that much. So I'll have to put a little sliver of a piece in there. You know, don't throw your scraps away. You can cover that up and we'll bury the seams and stuff. So anyways, I'm going to keep going here and I'll bring you back. All right, just a quick little update on this, on the giant pogo stick. I got the last coat of the, the silver, the sanding sealer. And so that's coming out okay. I still need to, I did some touch-ups here and there. I still need to sand it one more time. And then while I was waiting for the glue paint to dry, I went ahead and made up this wingtip thing, side force fence. The idea behind this is as the wing crates lift, not as much, won't lose as much lift sliding off the end of the wingtip. These are used, I mean, everybody's seen them on 3D planes and stuff like that. The Fascinate's got them on the inboard wings there. But it should make the ailerons a little more control, have a little more authority and stuff too. So, and create a little bit more lift at low speeds. So, where this thing is hopefully going to live. I'm a little concerned though because I'm picking up a lot of weight on the wing. The heavier the plane is, the more speed that it's got to fly at to maintain forward momentum. So, once we get it all built and I get this thing all painted and everything and it's ready for maiden, we'll stick the scale on it, see how much it weighs, and work out a wing loading on it and see where we're going to land at with this. So hopefully it's pretty good, but I'm a little concerned about it, that it's going to have to fly so fast that the control surfaces are so big they're going to flutter, if it gets too heavy. So anyways, we'll keep working on this, and then I'm going to sand some more on the wing. I've been doing a lot of that. And if you haven't seen the last video on finishing with the coverall, we're getting better. It's coming out better. The more I practice, the more techniques I learn. We're just going to get better and better at it. And then before too long, we'll be showcasing showpieces out here. So anyways, I'm going to get on cutting another one of these out. I think I'm just going to cover these in covering monocoat. I do have to put, this is 3/16, I do have to put some plywood in here because it's going to have the wire like the pogo stick's got out on the wingtip for landing wires and stuff. That'll come a little later once all the painting's done. I do have a pretty good size Fultz. If you're not familiar with that, it's the dual strut landing gear, and I'm going to drill a hole up through the center of that at somewhat of an angle, so that way it goes like that, and that's what our center nose piece is going to be. It's going to be fixed. It's not going to be steerable or anything. Rough it up, epoxy it in, and call it a day, and then we'll work on height with the prop that we need on the OPS 30. So anyways, I'm going to get back to working on this thing, and then I'll bring it back when I got some more updates for you. Alright, I'm not sure exactly where we're at in this video, but I did get the wing painted, and I went ahead and cut out, it was too tempting to see, make sure that this all worked, and it did. We have no foam damage from all the, paint prep and stuff. I went ahead and started laying out my grain here like we did on the tail surface. So I'm not worried about the wingtips. Those are getting covered up. I'm not going to mask them off for grain though. I'll probably go ahead and, spray some color, splash of color on there. Will be, trying to think, I don't think that's got any butyrate on it, so we'll have to put some grain on there. Ain't worried about what it looks like though, because like I said, it'll be covered up. So yeah, we're definitely getting there with it. I think that looks pretty good. I just kind of eyeballed it, and it looks pretty straight, or same left to right. I didn't measure it or nothing. It's just that, like I said, I eyeballed it. I do have some runs. I got a new paintbrush, and it was putting on paint like no tomorrow. I don't know if you can see that or not. I do have some thin spots, but I'm not too concerned about it here because this is all going to get green. If I get the green done and I need to touch up in the middle, I'll do that with a brush. So, yeah, like here and little places. I did sand it very lightly with 1200 grit paper here just to get rid of some of the bumps, but everything you see can't be felt by hand. Yeah, it's coming along. I got a long ways to go to learn how to paint though. Patience is the biggest thing. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to get this green put on, and then we'll get... I'm probably just going to finish this plane up in this video. No matter how long it is, it doesn't seem like it's doing so hot with the views and stuff, so we're just going to get it finished up and then on with the next. So, yeah. Anyways, we'll bring you back when I got a little bit more here to show you, probably in a few days. Well, it's green. I really like the way this color comes out, so let's go ahead and get her masked up, get her demasked here. And I got a little impatient and went ahead and decided to go ahead and paint it. I figured, well, not impatient, but I had the time to. Well, I think that came out pretty nice. I just was just sitting here like trying to come up with an idea. I was like, stripes, or do I do the same on the top that I did on the bottom with the purple? So, and then I thought of this idea. I've done this design here before on the center section on my old hog bite. I don't, unfortunately, in here no more. But I went ahead and added the tips to it. So, I guess the next question is what do we do for the wing tips? And, I'll probably just cover them in white. And then I did make the hatches for the top. I'll probably cover those in white too. I'm not going to paint this stuff. It's just going to be, it's going to curl up with the dope and stuff. So I got some covering laying around to cover it. Yeah. And then, so anyways, I'm going to let this dry for, let's see, today's Thursday. So I'll probably let it dry through tomorrow. And so maybe Saturday I can brush on a coat of clear coat on it. Yeah. I brushed all this on. I didn't shoot it with the spray paint. I mean, there's some little, you can see my brush marks when you get real close to it, but it's close enough. I think I need to get better brushes. I think the old $1 chip brushes are my downfall here. So, yeah. Anyways, oh, and the reason why I did that, real quick, is because I only ordered a little bottle of the purple because I'm just trying different colors to see what they look like from Brodeck. Stuff that kind of appeals to me and the colors that I like to use. So I wanted, when I did the green, I ran out. Well, of course I used green on the Flying King too. So, but those were just stripes. The stuff doesn't go very far. When you start spraying it, I didn't want to run out, so I was like, by putting it on with a brush, you get 100% paint transfer instead of overspray. So I think that worked out pretty good. I'll perfect my techniques in the future for sure. So anyways, I'll bring it back when we get going on final assembly here. Well, we are on to final assembly. This is pretty exciting. I have a few more things to cover with Monaco yet, but I am going to cut this video off here. And in the next video, we'll do all the control rods, servo installation, motor, landing gear stuff, all that. I kind of got a little ahead of myself here and went ahead and attached the rudder. It's currently drying. So, I know it looks a little goofy with just that 2 pieces of wood on there, but it's there, you know. I mean, the rudder definitely adds a lot to it. Yeah. So, it's getting there. I'm pretty happy with it. We got the bottom painted purple. I went ahead and did a design like that. It's almost the exact identical on the bottom of the elevator. I would show you, but that's drying. So, anyways, and I went ahead and attached the larger carbon fiber boom there. I'll show you that real quick, and then we're gonna cut this video off. So there's the part that goes into the fuse or the pod, and then this butts up against it. Now this added a tremendous amount of strength doing that. I just threw some 15-minute epoxy on the smaller tube, and then I slid the bigger one on there, taped it in place for a little bit, and let it cure up. So I think that's gonna, I know it's not much, but it's gonna add a little bit to, you know, what guys were saying, like it looks a little puny, and I was starting to agree with you guys. So anyways, yeah, maybe another few days, but watch out for tomorrow or whatnot. I am going to get the Cougar is all ready to go, and it's a beautiful day out. I know it's Mother's Day weekend, but yeah, my windstorm took the awning off of my grill. I got to get a replacement for it. But anyways, we'll get on to the maiden voyage of the Cougar. And so anyways, thanks for guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you would. I would appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.